Hey boys and girls, it's Mr. Mallory here. I hope you are all doing well and had a nice Memorial Day. Today we're going to be talking about and learning about the Brazilian clave. And Brazilian clave is different from the other ones, the 3-2 and the 2-3 clave, which are used in salsa music and mambo music. The Brazilian clave is used in bossa nova music, which is a slower style of music that became popular like in the 1950s, 1960s, with a composer named Antonio Carlos Jobim. He was probably the most famous Brazilian composer of bossa nova and samba music. In fact, I know there's an airport in Brazil that's named after Antonio Carlos Jobim. I'm not sure if it's in Rio or not, but then there's also the samba music, which is older than bossa nova, and it's much faster, and there's a dance that goes along with it. However, I do not know how to do it, but I'm sure you can find it on YouTube somewhere. So the Brazilian clave, you have a little more freedom with the Brazilian clave in that if you're playing like a bossa nova song or a samba song, if you're in a band, you're playing a bossa nova or samba, you can kind of drift away from the exact Brazilian clave that we're going to talk about. Whereas if you're in a mambo or a salsa band, if you drift away from the 3-2 or the 2-3 clave, the rest of the people in the band get frustrated. So there's that really large difference between these two styles of clave, in that the mambo and salsa music, the 3-2 or the 2-3 has to be very strictly in place. The Brazilian clave, when you're playing a bossa nova song or a samba, it doesn't have to be exact. You can kind of move around and come up with different rhythms. However, the Brazilian clave is a really, really good suggested rhythm if you're going to play a bossa nova or a samba song. A great movie to watch with a lot of really good Brazilian music in it is Rio, which came out probably like 9 or 10 years ago now. It's awesome. It has some awesome music in it, samba, bossa nova. I think if you haven't seen it, I'm sure most of you have, definitely check it out. I think it's on HBO right now. I think I saw it on there. So if you have HBO, you can definitely check out Rio. And in Brazil, they speak Portuguese. So most of the music that you find, like if it's a bossa nova or a samba, will be in Portuguese. However, sometimes it's in English too. So let's actually learn what the Brazilian clave sounds like. I'll go ahead and demonstrate it for a long period of time here. You can, once you hear it and you start to get comfortable with it, you can start to clap along with me. This one starts with a rest. So I'm going to count 1, 2. That's the first part of it. That's the rest, okay? So I'll say ready, go. Go doesn't mean start clapping. Go just means we're going to start counting our rest, which is 1, 2. Okay? Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so just like we've done for the other lessons, pause it, rewind, and practice that until you get comfortable with it. It's tough, it's difficult, it might take you a while, but I know you can get it with practice. So yeah, go back and do this along with me. And now let's go to a little bit of a faster one. The one we previously did would be more of like a bossa nova tempo. This one will be like almost a samba, but not quite. Okay, so it'll be a little faster. Also, I will put some YouTube links to some really cool bossa nova and samba songs that I think you'll enjoy. I'll put those below. Here we go. Here's the next one. Let's try it a little faster. Right about here. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so that's a little bit of a faster tempo. Sambas can get really, 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 really fast. I mean, they can be super duper duper fast. So you could be playing a Brazilian clave. 1, 2. About there. It's fun, but it's difficult. One more thing. The Brazilian clave is obviously popular in these two different kinds of music that I talked about, the bossa and the samba, but also, and we'll talk about this more next week, it was really, 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 really an important rhythm in the invention of jazz, particularly second line jazz, which is one of the first forms of jazz music. And second line music is from New Orleans, and I know we've talked about this a little bit back when we were actually in school, but it's very, very, very important in the development of jazz music. And jazz music is important to us, especially because it's an American form of music. A lot of these different styles of music we've talked about come from different places that, around the world. Cuba, Puerto Rico, Brazil, Africa. So the Brazilian clave was very important in the development of jazz music, but like I said, we'll talk about that more next time. The instruments that would play the Brazilian clave could be really anything, especially a guitar, a drum, or a piano. Those are probably the main three instruments that you would hear playing a Brazilian clave. So definitely listen to these songs that I put below and try to see if you can either hear an exact Brazilian clave or something that kind of sounds like it could be related to the Brazilian clave. Because like I said, in the Brazilian music, you don't have to be as strict with this rhythm as opposed to the salsa and the mambo. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Practice. It's difficult, but I know you can get it with practice. So, and keep sending me videos. I love watching the videos of you guys working on this stuff. It really makes my day. So definitely keep in touch. I enjoy hearing from you, and we'll see you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.